have Jeanette Reyes here. They're our facilitator. I want to make sure I had your name correct. They're actually from Stanislaus County, and they're going to kick us off. But before we do that, we do have our mayor here, and we have one of our council members, Mr. Upal. So I'd like to extend the microphone to the mayor to just say some welcoming remarks, and then we can get started.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our workshop, and I want to say thank you for being here, making time, and then for everybody watching at home. And I think this is very important so that we all know which way we're heading and what are some of the priorities that we want to have for our community. So welcome and thank you.
So thank you, Mayor. Mr. Upal, would you like to say a word or two?
Got nothing more to add other than the fact that I appreciate everybody that's taking the time to be here and excited to get moving. Thank you to our facilitators as well.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. So again, this is just adds to what we've been doing, last year and stuff. There's a little nuance, and this one is we want to be a little more strategic and do a little bit more prioritization. And so our facilitators are going to do today is going to push us along. You'll see that there's a number of things that are kind of posted on the walls, and she'll basically provide you with more information. And we look forward to engaging you and those who are watching us at home. And thank you again for being this evening. So Nancy, turn it over to you.
Thank you. Okay, before we get started, I kind of want to know where the cameras are so I can say hi to folks. Hi, everybody. There's one over there. Cool. Hi. All right, can I ask that these two tables, we move them out here? Can we come closer to this wall? Yes, this and that table. Can we just get closer to this side of the room? Oh, yeah, and of course, you too. You please come up. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Like Jose said, my name is Nancy. This is Jeanette. And we have a small community organization company called Debrief. And we do a lot of work in Stanislaus County. And we're also doing work in Merced and San Joaquin counties. And our job is essentially to help different organizations better connect with their communities, residents, et cetera, help those residents understand why their voice is important and help their voices shape these big decisions that are happening. So we're happy to come out and help facilitate these types of workshops. And we hope that it's not too boring here today for you all, but it's interactive and you all can put some ideas up here that are good. Okay, so the plan for today, look at me, I'm a horrible, I left all my stuff over here. The plan for today is that you all work up here most of the time. So we're gonna be up on this wall, and you all are gonna be talking to each other about what things you wanna get done for the city of Livingston. So up on the wall, you'll see that there are 3 white papers that have words on them, and then a blank one down there. Each of these white papers have these laminated sheets here with some information, and then you'll see a little printout that says what a strong idea is and isn't. And I'm gonna walk you through what all this means. These things in red up here are big focus areas that you might focus on in the city. For example, over here we have infrastructure and public services, economic development and growth management, housing and neighborhood stability, community safety and public health, community identity and quality of life, fiscal responsibility and governance. And on the laminated sheets are things that you might think of that are more strategic. For example, here under infrastructure, you might want to focus on water and wastewater, growth and infrastructure, the city growing, roads, parks, public facility maintenance, etc. Economic development, job creation, strategic growth. So it's just examples of things that you can think about. And what we're gonna do today is you're gonna do I'm not gonna be up here talking for a long time. You're gonna be up here and writing things. So you'll see that there's sticky notes and pencils or pens at your table. The idea is that you're gonna spend some time thinking about all the ideas that could fall under these buckets and write them up, write them down. You're gonna put them up here. And then as a group, you're gonna talk about what are some of the good ideas, what are some of the things that have highest impact, and you're slowly gonna start prioritizing the things that make the biggest impact. Then at the end of the night, we'll have things under each of these buckets that then the city of Livingston can take and say, okay, this is what our community said has highest impact. Now we need to determine feasibility. How doable are these ideas? Maybe we change them a little bit to make them more feasible, but they at least now have data for what you all are saying is important to you all in these buckets. Now, if these buckets don't, if you you have an idea for a thing that the city should do and it doesn't fall under one of these buckets, that's why we have this blank one up here all the way to my left, where you can put any ideas that don't fall under these buckets down there. Me and Jeanette might come over here and see that maybe it does fall under a bucket and we might move it over, but you're more than welcome to put things that you don't feel certain fall under these. Okay? Does that make sense for what we're doing today? Yeah? Does it feel exciting? Maybe? Not yet? Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what makes a good idea good and what makes a good idea or an idea not good. You'll see this printout here. You'll be able to read it when you come up, but I'm just going to read what it says. A strong idea is a concrete action, example, programs, services, initiatives that the city or its partners could take. Something that could become a program service, a pilot program, a policy change, an initiative again. An example, partner with the school district to offer summer internships for local youth. That is a strong idea. It's saying what it is and what the city should do, right? Another example, launch a small business navigation program to help local businesses access permits and funding. It's another idea. Good, it's detailed, right? Now, a strong idea is not a thought or a general belief or just an observation about a problem. It's not a statement of a problem without an action attached. So an example of an idea that is not strong, youth don't have enough opportunities. Another example, small businesses need support. Those are things that we might know that are real of our community, but that does not point to an action to be done. It doesn't get specific about exactly what the city could do, right? We can believe that, we know that. Now, what are we gonna do about it? Those are the strong ideas are the things that we really wanna see written on these Post-it notes. So Jeanette and I will be walking around making sure that you're writing strong ideas. If we see something that says sidewalks don't work, we're gonna come and tell you that's not a strong idea. Make it strong. What should the city do about that? Okay? So you can think about it in the way that the who, why, where, when, why, how, like those questions that you used to do in school, try to answer as many of those questions. Who, what are they doing, how are they doing it? Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah? Thumbs up?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you walk up here, or you can stay seated if you can read all the things in red. And I want you to take 10 minutes, I'm gonna be serious about the time here, to just sit, think about all the things that you think the city could do, and you're gonna have these 10 minutes to write as many ideas as you can for any of these buckets. I'm gonna ask that each of you write at least 6 ideas. You could do one for each bucket.
On the sticky notes?
On the sticky notes, 1 idea per sticky note. You're gonna write at least 6 ideas. You could do 1 for each bucket. If you really only care about one thing, you can do all 6 there. But I want you all to just take 10 minutes and write 6 strong ideas. Okay? Make sense? And no talking. I really want this to be silent, individual time. Get all your thoughts down. Then you will have plenty of time to talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the way.
All right. We need that Jeopardy music on.
Please feel free to get up too, and if you need to read them, come up. You're gonna eventually need to come up because you're gonna put your sticky notes up here. Jeanette, do you want to sing? You want to sing? Stand over here. Okay, I can. 10 minutes of a timer music. Okay, it's intense now. We'll take music requests, maybe? And if you need a reminder for what a strong idea is and is not, please feel free to just go up to the wall. There might be an idea that falls under multiple buckets, and I'll just let you choose which one it ends up in. Thank you, Mayor. Doing a good example. Once you're done, put them up. No, 6 total or more if you'd like, but at least 6 in total. Yes. Are you writing everything on one sticky? Okay. Hopefully, yeah, maybe write really nice. As nice as you can. I'll give you 2 minutes, and then I want folks to start putting more sticky notes up there, but then you'll still have a few more minutes to work.
Stop waiting to be paid. Get paid on the spot. Easily take payments.
Yeah, you are being graded today. spell that out. We've got about a minute and a half. Okay, give me another 30 seconds. Is it? I think that music is copyrighted, Jose. Okay, let's see, at least one more idea coming up. Yes, please get a cookie before they run out. Is it a New Year diet? Is it a New Year diet? Like you start? Okay, how many folks are still working on ideas? I was told to stand here. Stand here. No? Okay. All right, now for the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna have you all come up here, read what everybody wrote. If you notice a sticky note or if you yourself notice, I'm gonna invite you to use these next 20 minutes to add to your idea. But I want you to just come and observe, come look at these sticky notes, and add more as a group. Talk to each other. Maybe there's ideas up here that could be combined. Maybe you might combine an idea or two. Consolidate if there's multiple things that are written twice. Maybe just stack them on top of each other. I want you all to just feel really good about all the ideas up here, but I need you all to come and review this. Okay? So 20 minutes, come and read, work on these, add some more ideas. we should put the music back on.
You know, a lot of people. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that got.
Want to check your numbers? Get the Google app to simplify studying. Tap Lens and capture the
Make sure you're also adding. We've got about 5 minutes left, so if you haven't been to all of the boards, please make time to do that. And please add anything else that might be missing.
Get more crypto for your cash and set up recurring buys starting at just $1. Get started today. If you're feeling anxious about putting yourself out there, instead just kind of have the mentality of like, let's just see. Submit to the challenge.
All right, do we feel like We need another minute, 2 minutes. I just heard that's a really good idea, and it better be up there. Okay, thank you for adding, please. Oh, yeah. Sticky notes is our world. I know. What did we decide? All right, one more minute. Give me one more minute. More boys in blue.
Taxes was chasing updates and getting nowhere.
Okay. Don't get too comfortable. I'm gonna have you come up very soon. Okay. Give the last 30 seconds. Okay. I'll wait for the timer to go off. Alrighty. Oh, let me stand in my designated position. Okay. So now for the next section of this activity. Jose, can we turn off the music?
That's all I needed.
Thank you. Okay, so for this next section, I need 3 volunteers. It won't be a hard job. 3 volunteers. Okay, chief, council member. Okay, I promise you it's not very much. Okay, my 3 volunteers, you're gonna take these sticky notes and you're just gonna put them on the bottom section. So move them all down. Take this poster here. Yeah, nope. And then not all the way down, just to the bottom of their section. Yeah. Yes, so this, thank you, yep, and then these will just go like right here. Look at that. Yeah, and so move these down here. Oh, all of them? Yep, all of them. See, it would have taken me way too long to do that. Thank you. Where was this one at? What is this? It's community safety. Okay, put that one right there. Okay, all right, my volunteers, if you're done, you can sit down. You did it. You did your job. Okay, so now for this next part, what we're gonna do is you're gonna come back up here. You're gonna look at the idea pool that you all just generated, and you're just gonna move up. For example, if you're looking at community safety and you see one of these ideas that you really love and that brings you a lot of joy and excitement, you're just gonna move it up. Does that make sense? Okay? You can move as many as you'd like, but I really want you to make sure that you feel really good about the decisions you're making. You're moving your favorite ones, the ones that you think are the most important. So I'm not gonna put a limit. You don't just move up 2 or 3. You can put as many up, but it's just a way to prioritize, right, as a group. So all of you are welcome to come back up here and move up to the top. You can do that. Would you all? It can be individual and group. That's what you'd think. That's what you'd think. How about we do it as a group? Okay. We'll give you by a table. Okay. Let's do that. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Do you all feel good about that? So this group is gonna move up only these. This group, you're gonna move up only these. And that group, you're gonna move up these. Yeah? Okay, all right, go ahead. Break. 1, 2, 3, go. This is a team-working city, I love it. If the restickability is low, we have tape. You've got about 3 minutes left. Just doing math in my head. 3 minutes to put everything to the top. Say hi to the cameras. Okay, I think we can start putting the impact ones next to the ones that are blank, or the one that already got done. About 2 more minutes. Got a minute left. Okay, I see folks moving back to their chair. All right, before you sit down all the way down, I'm gonna do the next thing. All right, are we ready to move forward? Okay, before you sit down, you're gonna come back up. Okay, so now, before you sit down all the way, I want you to just go back up and do a quick scan of the one you didn't work on, the ones that you didn't work on, and I give you permission that if you see something that was not moved up, that you really want to see up there, you move it up. Maybe I'll put some limits. Maybe you can move up 1 or 2. Now, if you're tempted to move anything down, that you're not allowed to do. This is like the size bag. Right, not. Done? Give you like 2 more minutes. And if you're done, start thinking about impact. What makes something very impactful? What is that? Kill it. What makes something very impactful versus low in impact? All done, all done. Okay. See, these ones I can move quickly. I took them away. Okay, give me like 20 seconds to do this real quick. This is why I was using one hand. Idea. We're losing them. Okay. This is here. Water's also there. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So now for this next activity, you're just going to pay attention to the ones that say impact. Okay? I should have said this earlier, but just because something was not moved up doesn't mean it'll disappear. It's still data, it's still information, it's still a priority. But we're looking for the highest priority things, right? So for this next activity, you're going to look at the things that are on this impact sheet, impact sheet, impact sheet. And your groups will come back up again and you'll work in a group, except you'll work on a different sheet this time. So this group, maybe you go to the middle one, and then next group that way, and then this one can come over here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at the ideas that were moved over here, and you're gonna put them from lowest to highest impact. Okay, so I want you to look at these sticky notes. Which one is lowest? Which one's next? Which was next? I want a straight line of sticky notes. Does that make sense? Yeah, from low to high impact. I don't want things stacked on top of each other. I want things in a straight line. No cheating. Okay? Ready? So this group will come to the middle. This group will go over there. Last group will come up to this first one. Wonderful. Question. Sorry. Well, if the thing was done, if the thing was accomplished, would it have a high impact or a lower impact than the thing next to it? I think it'll stick. I think they're getting too excited. Was that one easy? They weren't very good. Changing things on here.
Well, see, these are kind of the same, so it's like we're, you know, we. No. Well, these are all the same. It's additional water, it saves water. Oh, yeah, they do. But we can explain why. This additional water, which is the same as increased water, right? And then waste treatment plant there was another one about it. Oh, yeah, water treatment. So.
Got the easy one. Nice. All right, I think everybody's finished, just on time. Okay, I'm gonna ask that a volunteer from each group share their order of impact and share all the ideas on the sticky notes. I'm gonna start with this group.
Thank you. I think in the middle, and it's pretty clear based on how many sticky notes are on that one, we had the toughest time organizing out of the three groups. For highest impact, we focused on affordable housing. The more affordable housing units are present in the community, the more families that are in need of that housing will be able to access them. As we know, an 80-unit housing development just opened up on B Street, and I think we're over 600 applications the last time I checked of how many people applied for that. So that's a huge need in the community, followed up by moderate to affordable housing to single-family housing. It's a big need as well. We have a lot of folks in town that are looking to be homeowners, are ready to go, but we don't have the capacity for them. And so that was our second impact. And the third one is potential rent assistance or grant programs for folks that are looking to make monthly payments and or seeking to increase their housing options that would be beneficial for individuals. Yes, we did do the bottom one as well. The highest priority for the bottom impact line was a fully staffed fire station. It's probably the biggest priority for the city right now at large. The sticky notes that you see to the left of them, those are also focused on fire, but expanding to have a second fire station in town. I know city manager has already been working on this a little bit. I want to thank the mayor for already coordinating with our congressman's office to potentially receive federal funding for this. There is property being designated across the street from the sports complex to eventually be the future fire station, but we have to secure the funds first. And then that's followed up by an increase in street lighting in the community. And I forgot this last one, and I definitely can't see it from where we're sitting. But the last ones are inclusion of smoke-free ordinances for multifamily housing in the city. and I will pass it over to our folks next to us. I believe there's a mic. You guys want to use
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't see that far away. We started the community identity quality of life. We started with a high impact is finishing the Rexplex Center, because everybody, I think that's going to benefit everybody in this city, bring some more community together in that. Then our next priority, going down, was the above-ground skate or water park. And what we meant by water park was not something where you get on rides and you pay for it. You know, something like in the park where you have the water that comes up and it runs certain hours a day so that children, you know, families could walk down, have their dinner in the park maybe and or their lunch and let their children play in the water. And then we had, oh, that's hard to read. In something development standards, allow required green spaces every so many feet, or every so, not feet, they said every X amount of distance, so that there are green spaces, that we don't turn into a concrete city in that, because that's important for everybody. You have to be able to feel that nature sometimes, get out of the house, put your toes in grass and look at everything. Then we have the high school, college student programs, summer or after school internships. And, you know, this we kind of talked about, and maybe getting like Merced College or someone to, you know, have classes out here. In the Livingston area, I know Los Banos has an extension out there, but something to where people could join the classes without having to commute. I know that there's capability now through the internet, but sometimes we just got to stop just the internet. We still have to get back in the classroom environment, be around people and that. So that's something. And then as we go lower in the impact here, recreational activities for families, camping and fishing. And then the last item was keep small farm community identity for a mix of high, dense, and single-family dwellings. And we kind of move that towards the back, because sometimes we've always thought of Livingston as a small farm town community. And I think to grow in a positive way and to move towards the future, we need to kind of get rid of some of that mentality. Still try to do what we can to preserve some of it, but we need to move from that mentality. So, and then we have fiscal responsibility and governance. So on the high end, we put a created dashboard highlighting pages and status of all the city projects. We talked about the city website and how many times that when people go on to the website to look for something, they're gonna look at everything else and explore. And if you have a bird's eye view of the projects that are going on, and it's highlighted in maybe an order to where they know which ones are being worked on and which ones aren't, I think they would also go and look at other things, because sometimes when we battle the public, it's all of a sudden they're saying about the rezoning or something, and it's like, this has been going on since we've been working on the general plan. Do you ever come to meetings? So if they can't get to meetings, then they could definitely see everything in a bird's eye view on the website. Then we have a more updated and timely notification system for community members. And then again, that might be something that we could work towards on our website. Be responsible with city funds to funds adherence to budget financial policies. And I really do believe, and the mayor can kind of comment on this as well, I think there are already protocols in place that do that. But it's something that we need to make sure that all the city members are aware of, and the residents in that. Maybe that's something too that could be information on the website. Then we have fiscal responsibility governments. Okay, the city will ID priorities and allotment funding to those. I'm sorry. Priorities? Okay, priorities and allot funding to those priorities. So maybe creating a department that would then look at all the funding and make sure that the money is allocated properly in that. We don't have that in place already? Just saying. Anyway, focus on financial funding, all projects, public participation in city planning was one of the next items. And then city council districts. And what I could just see was maybe taking the city apart and putting like a representative or something for each of the districts so that they could represent like we do in the state, in the counties, is what I got out of that. Is that what you guys got out of it? Yeah. And then term limits, which again would make sure that, you know, some of the planning commission, city council members could only run for X amount of a term. So that's the way we prioritized it.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next group.
Check 1, 2. Since I know we're short on time, we're gonna make this work. All right, so high impact to low impact for what we're looking at. For infrastructure and public service, I think for the most part, based on what we had, was everybody was water capacity being the most important thing that our community needs. Water treatment being the high marks of, I think, most of these Post-its. Definitely that. We talked about wastewater treatment expansion, since if we have a bigger population, we're gonna need more water treatment, so we're looking into that. We looked at the infrastructure or our public service sector. We were looking at both law enforcement and fire, so I think we covered a little bit of that about adding a fire station, but we're looking at also the increased pay and making sure that we're paying our public servants the appropriate to keep them in our community, especially as we grow. Storm pump station renovations, since we have, how many did we say? I think it was 9 storm stations that need to be addressed. And that was the biggest the biggest things for infrastructure and public service. And then for economic development and growth management, we were looking at focusing on commercial growth along corridor Highway 99. I think the 99, reaching out to Sultana, since we were kind of limited on our exits, we really need to expand to allow for additional exits in our community. We looked at annexing more down 99. I think that was the other part of it. Identifying vacant properties in our downtown and addressing how we can infill as we grow. Let me see this one. Yeah, you can help me on this one.
Economic Development Growth Management, the city will conduct a
Study.
Leakage study. Yeah, something study to determine which business services obtain in our communities.
So kind of do a study that kind of oversees what we had in our community. So that would work too. Looking at expanding our downtown, the multiplex being another priority. And then the last one, kind of look at a variety of things. Someone had a thing on here about having more sit-down restaurants and those types of things. The only thing with why it became the lowest part of our priority for having sit-down restaurants is most restaurants, they base them coming to a community like this is based on the population. So if we don't have a population to sustain the restaurant, they're not going to come in. So it's hard to get a sit-down restaurant, and why it was a low impact. So with that.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, give yourselves a pat on the back. Any additional comments, thoughts, anybody wants to share?
Yes. So the water water park is already in play at the Recplex. Oh, sorry, I'm loud. Sorry, I'm loud. I was just going to say it. At the Recplex, there's already a splash pad built into the plan already. And what was the other thing? I'm sorry, that one stuck out the most. Huh? No. So that's already in place. And there was one other thing, I'm sorry, my mind went blank, I'm getting tired. But the splash pad, since it was on your high impact, I just wanted you to know it is in the plan, and so it should be done probably into the last phase. We've already spoken with Anthony about it and how it's gonna work, and yeah, and all the issues that come with it. Sorry, Anthony.
Okay, valid. Okay, anybody else? No? Okay, so what's to come next? So this is, again, data for the city staff to take a look at and see what folks thought were priorities. And then they get to determine feasibility, right? They know the resources of the city. They can talk to city council and talk about how do we get more resources. But the next step that we would have done if we had time is we have our impact. Imagine feasibility was the y-axis, and then you move them up. How feasible are things? And then it gives a good quadrant. Like imagine if I would have drawn a line here and a line here. Depending on how feasible things are, then you would see that the ones up here would be high impact and high feasibility, things that are great for a staff to focus on. These are lower impact, high feasibility, quick wins, but maybe you don't put that much effort into. Here, high impact, but really low feasibility, things that we work towards. And then here, low impact, low feasibility are things that we may leave behind. So the next step here is it would have been feasibility, but now that's the work of the staff to take a look at this and capture all of your information, not just what was here, but also over here, because there may be some good ideas over here as well. So those are the activities today. Thank you all for contributing. Hopefully you had a nice time talking to one another. Yes?
Will this data be available once the staff looks at it?
Good question.
Available to the city or for comment?
Great question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So the answer is yes. What we plan on doing is taking all this information and actually compiling it and providing, a written document that has all this information. So none of this information is going to be, left on the wayside. We're going to certainly prioritize what the group here has surface to the, push to the top, but we'll go ahead and include everything else. That way, it's a comprehensive document and you guys can look at it. And if we have some questions, we'll certainly, reach out to you all and get some clarification. But yes, we will, basically put them in these different groups and we will, come up with some written documents so you guys can have.
Great question.
I just want to encourage other people that didn't come to this meeting to know what's going on. Sometimes in the community, you hear negative comments or that, and you're going, have you been to a city council meeting or been participating? Because I think that's important. If you truly love your city and are invested in it, you need to at least be aware of what's going on.
Absolutely. So any closing comments, anything that our electeds would like to say?
Well, I think this is great work, and like somebody already mentioned, this is it's going to be an ongoing work. For those of you at home that are watching at home, you can reach out to city staff, to your council members, and provide that additional input. Did we miss something? And then later on, this is going to come back to the council, and we're going to be able to have further discussion. So this is not the last time, but at the same time, I think it's important to be able to make sure that we as city and council know what your priorities are, and to make sure that these are your priorities. Because also, as we get close to June, we're going to be working on our new budget for the next fiscal year. So this aligns with all of the other work that is being done behind the scenes. And then again, if keep in mind that if something doesn't get done this year, we gotta continue working on something for next year or the following year. I mean, we got projects on the books that are not planning to be done until 3 years from now. But it takes a lot of planning ahead of time.
Anybody else? Any final thoughts, comments, complaints?
No complaints tonight. Just to piggyback off of the mayor's and the city manager's comments about all this stuff getting written down, that's definitely what our intention was when we hosted this. And the goal is to get to a point where we have a formal strategic plan, something we haven't had as a city, and are very clear about what projects we're setting to complete in the year, and we can track as we go to see how far we're getting and really how much we can accomplish within a year. I think over time we may want to get to a point where we have a multi-year strategic plan where all of these bigger projects are mapped out and we are actively tracking our progress and tying our budget to those priorities. And so I appreciate everybody that gave feedback tonight. Thank you again to our facilitators and to our staff who stayed late, as they always do, for these types of things. And I'm excited to get to June. Thank you.
All right, well, with that, I want to again thank the facilitators for coming, Jeanette and Nancy, and also our legal. So you guys enjoy your evening. Thank you very much again, and please take as many snacks as you want. So thank you. Have a good night.